Welcome to Painting Saturdays on the 999 ASMR Tarot, the 9 p.m. edition. It looks like I'm a little bit late. I apologize for being a little bit late. I fell asleep. That's my excuse. I did fall asleep after dinner. Then I woke up and I was thinking about, well, what am I going to be doing? I kind of figured out what we're going to be doing here today. Mama Sushi, welcome. And Ange, welcome. And these are the paints that we're going to be using in this. This is titanium white and prairie wind and flowers and spiritual arts. Welcome. I checked out your channel last week. And so we'll put the little bone black down here. And where did I put the blues at? I thought I had the blues. Where did it? I'm so disorganized today. Did I put the blues away? No, it's just right over here on the floor. And then the blue we're going to use is a magnesium hue. Like that. And I do have some paper towels someplace, because I got the paint on me already. And so we're going to be trying a different. I had narrowed it down to like this image here and this image. And we're going to do this image sometime. May not be. I'm going to do this one today. Not the whole thing. I'm just going to do a piece of it. And this is the underpainting that we're going to use. And I'm going to use those colors. Let's go put this away over here. Painting Saturdays. We'll just put that up there. And I'm going to kind of map out we're thinking where the horizon line should be. It's like so if it's like here, I think that might give it enough. And it's just maybe there, but maybe it's kind of like right in this zone here. If I turn this thing around, no, back, all right. So I'm going to kind of put the roughly where my pond begins, and kind of this is the subject of my painting here, is one of these things, which I've painted these things a lot in my time. And this is like the first one of those that I painted. A long time ago, when I got suspended from my job for 3 days for alcohol over service, and it was a job suspension without pay, but it was. I couldn't have been so lucky for it to be 3 days in a row. Instead, no, it was 3 days once a week for 3 weeks. So it was a 4-day work week. But you know what? Because of the nature of my job, and they put it right in the middle of the week, it wasn't. I didn't have any noticeable loss of income or anything else. If it was like a Saturday, it would have been a noticeable loss of income. A Sunday, not so much. A Friday and Saturday, it would have been a definite loss of income, but not a Thursday. No loss of income on a Thursday. So I'm trying to think about where will I put that horizon line in. And I think it's probably, I want more sky because the perspective of it will look best Now I got this natural black line in there, and I think I might just make that like the horizon line, and we'll go from there. And I won't draw it in at all. Somebody's calling for me. They know I'm doing a demonstration. Okay, all right. We're just going to get started in here, blocking in the colors. And so the colors are titanium white, fluorescent yellow, primary yellow, Azulon crimson. Fluorescent red, magnesium hue, and bone black. All right. There's another color. Oh, that's right, because my tube of yellow ochre split out, so I scraped it off the floor, and that's that. All right. And how is everybody doing tonight, anyways? So I got the reference photo right over here. Got my little mini icons and so forth. Maybe I will put the reference photo right in front like that. And for those who are new lurking in, there are some buttons to push. If not, and the people who've been here, Mama have already pushed those buttons, and so let's get going. I'm trying to think here. This is going to be, so we're going to work on the sky first, and then work on some water. And so since it's kind of at sunset here, then, and as you can see, I don't see any reflections of the land in the water, which is good. And this water actually isn't that deep. I'm doing okay. I'm just a little, it's raining and I haven't got enough exercise. I'm starting to sound like a cranky old man, but I'm doing fine, I think. So we'll start with I'm going to make a tone down. I'm going to start with I think I'm going to start with this kind of a color here. So which would be just do a tone down yellow, and I need a different brush because I need to add this color in here at a little bit faster pace. No, this is actually a piece of a paper that I prepped it a while ago. I prepped this, and so the one that I prepped on the last show, I prepped several of those, and I have 2 of them left. And since I'm doing a picture that I haven't done before, I'm not going to use one of these yet. Actually, that image on there is already spoken for, so anyways. I'm going to be doing on those canvases, I'm going to do a variation of this one a few more times. Yeah, so anyways, that's what we got. So we're moving on to a new image, and I'm going to just see how fast we can do it. So in 2025, I'm going to try to do a lot more new things just to keep things moving on. And so we're going to put this, I decided that this was my horizon line, and that's okay. And so we're going to put this color in here. And this color is actually pretty close. It looks kind of like what the sun is over there. So I'm just going to just tap it in here just to give it some texture. And we're going to be painting over most of it. But maybe we get it to to texture it in here. And mountains on the moon. I'm just going to put this in. I might just cover the whole section, and then we'll want to mute it down to get more of a gray tone. We'll just let it dry and so forth. Maybe it's feathers in to be about at this place. A little bit more. So we got something to build on. But you know, it's just an experiment, so it doesn't really matter, right? We can just get it all in here. I should have had my hair dryer handy. So tonight at Tarot Ask Backwards, it sounded like it was very, I found it very amusing. I found his show very amusing tonight. The crack that broke the grandmother's back, where did that come from? And so did you guys all have a nice Christmas? And how many people still have their Christmas trees up? I mean, mine will be up until it gets to be too dangerous to be still left inside the house. And I'm going to come in, add some of, take this color, and I'm going to add some of this fluorescent yellow to it. I'm going to kind of map out where the sun is going to be. So this is a place called Baskett Slough. I'll just say, if you want to look it up, it's a place called Baskett Slough. It's a wildlife refuge. In the summer, this is all dry land. It's kind of a marshland. It's all filled up now, but I just want to dab that color in like that. I'm going to come up. Yeah, I think I do need to plug that hairdryer in. And building the sky. So that's pretty dry. Let's go over here. I'm going to take the blue and maybe just so things don't turn a weird color, maybe I'm going to use, instead, I'm going to make a gray color, and that way, if I do it as a gray color, it should mix in with this yellow and not turn the sky green. And so we'll run it as a gray tone and see how that works. Because really that's the color that the sky is right now, in this photo anyway, is kind of a grayish tone. Now then I can come up from the gray tone, and then I can add some blue to it, so we get a sense of maybe it is a blue sky. So is everyone else who's a channel maker have a feel like these are the doldrums of the season, or do other people, because right, you know, a drop in things. Yeah, Jeff's show was entertaining. That was what I found, that it wasn't like some of his shows that are just way too dark. And I appreciated the fact that it wasn't all that dark tonight. Probably should have the darker colors up here. And if we kind of put it in here like this, we can get some of that energy. I'm gonna move this out this other way so we can add some energy and motion into the colors there. White Cliff, this picture was taken at Baskett Slough. And Baskett Slough is right outside of Salem. And it is a wildlife, a wildlife reserve for, mostly for geese. What there are right now is ducks and geese. That's what, ducks and geese winter here. And that's right outside of, it's on 99W. The access road is called Colville Road, and it's off of 99 West, right by Refuge. You've been there, so yeah, White Cliff. I don't know what kind of geese are there. I was there recently, and I took some pictures, which I did post on my community page. And but I go to Salem. I go to Salem often to go grocery shop, because those are like where the nearest grocery stores are at, is like at Salem. So, and I went to Schmeketa in Salem and I took, after high school, I had to do a couple of years of remedial studies, and I did that at Schmeketa. I think I'll go and change over, and I'm gonna get another brush, and so that I can do this faster. Where is my other brush like that? Here it is. I took all the photos myself. I've been doing photography forever. Since I was a boy. Yeah. Baskett Slough National Wildlife Refuge in Oregon. Yes, exactly. You can look it up. And that is where this is. I go there all the time just to relax and to unwind. It's one of my favorite free go-to spots, to go someplace and not spend any money. I'll go there and spend the day. Yeah. I probably washed it through. I don't remember when I took this photo, but it was on my, I probably took it within the last 10 years. That's all I can say. And I probably took it on a phone, but I could have taken it on my camera, which doesn't work anymore. I have a 35 millimeter digital camera that stopped functioning about almost 2 years ago, and it's kind of bummed. This is a sunset. I'm never up to see a sunrise, and so I rarely have ever seen sunrises in my life. It's not my kind of not my thing, and yeah, yeah. But yeah, that's a sunset. I have a lot of a lot. I'm a lot of. I'm gonna probably run this yellow or color here. It's got a hair on here. That's like a hairs on my paintings, and my food is such a. Yeah, yeah. I'm not. My. Well, I've been a night person since I was a child, and a lot of it happened. I'm gonna make that a buffer zone, come in with some more of that gray. I wish I wouldn't have made that gray so heavy there, but it's okay. We're gonna put a bunch of layers on, and when I was in the 5th grade, my school burnt down. My school burnt down, and at that point in time, we went on double shift. So what didn't burn down was the kindergarten and the 1st and 2nd grade wings, and then, and of course the high school. And so then we double shifted, and they put in a bunch of mobile units, and we went into this double shifting phase, and that lasted all the way until I was like halfway through fifth. It was right around this time of the year when I was in the fifth grade. So halfway through fifth grade, sixth grade, and seventh grade. And when I started the eighth grade is when they had the new school built, and now it's all in one school. But it's that was a long time ago in the 70s, and yeah. Well, I tend to go to sleep at like 4 o'clock in the morning every night, but it's hard because I'm caregiving, and my mom she's 85, and I oftentimes really just can't sleep anyway because it's like I'm always worried about something, and let's kind of put this in here. We're not going to go too exact. Yeah, I don't get as much sleep as I get. I have to. I need to. I really need more sleep because when I don't get enough sleep, then it exacerbates my migraines, and I'm kind of liking the energy of this. I think we're going to move this over here. I don't need to put any red in this at all. I think I can do it all with that, with these colors here. And that choice of using black was, using the gray here was the best, because as you can see here, if I had made a light blue color, this here would have turned green, and so we're just kind of learning. I'm learning here actually as I'm doing this, because I didn't have any formal art other than in high school, and so in 2025 I'm going to work on doing yeah, I do. I used this last night. I actually fell asleep at 5:30 in the morning, and I fell asleep about 5:30 last night. And I have some unnatural remedies too, but they weren't prescribed for sleep. They were prescribed for other things, for panic attacks. But yeah, well, my aunt is always full of great suggestions about what I should be doing. Yeah, I don't take it every day, actually. I don't take it every day. Usually I just fall asleep. I'm just gonna pull this up here to get that energy in it. And we'll see. It's just an experiment. We'll probably do this picture again. Yeah, that's for certain. Luckily, I didn't have anything going on in the morning, so I could sleep till noon today, which was nice. I do want to lighten this thing down with some blue. It's all right. It's okay. I got all these people in my family who are work in the medical field, so I'm not which is why I've brought it up multiple times. You know, when I was younger, my sister tried to get me a job in a hospital, and I somehow managed to mess up the interviews. With because she swears up and down I still left the tag on the suit, which I did not. What I did do was there was a cloth tag on the sleeve that signified that great lengths for me. Yeah, that signified the brand name of the suit, and I left that on there, and I didn't think anything of it. And I'm going to be putting this in here with the hopes that it will not. I do not want it to turn green at all. So, but yeah. And as I've mentioned many times, I'm going to do a Q&A tomorrow at around 2-ish. I have the questions written down, and I've started to think about them. And so I have not done one of those yet, but we are going to do one of those. Great links. Which links are you talking about? Let's tone this down. I need to get another one of these trays that broke, and I ordered one, but it was the wrong size, and I ended up thinking I think I might venture into watercolors too. Yeah, I like that color. And as I sold a painting yesterday, but it'd be nice if I could sell enough. Oh crap! I got like black all over my hands. I'm like just not paying attention here. Where's that on here? Yeah, that's where it's at. Before I destroy my painting. Yeah, so that would be great if I could, but so maybe, my childhood friend who has supported, I've been a big supporter in my art, and I try to encourage him to go back into doing his art, but he's been a stay-at-home daddy for several years now. But his child is just about ready to be, like halfway through high school pretty soon, which is it's unbelievable how. But he married a doctor, and so they agreed that he would be the person taking care of the family, but anyways, that's neither here nor there. That's his story. And okay, so I got that disaster averted here. I need another napkin, and I kind of liken that. I don't know where that source of the black came from, so I guess I need to pick myself up. I think I got this like at Fred Meyer or someplace like that. I do remember that. But I'm trying to think of when is the next time I'm going to town. And let's make that here. We'll add some of this gray into it and mix it down. So there we go. And last time I went to the art store, I didn't find a tray like this. So, I'm not even going to try for a color match here in the sky. So I don't know that that's all that necessary. But let's see if we bring it down a bit. We're just going to try and get it to feather it in together so that it blends more seamlessly. Right now, it doesn't feel like it's going to do that. Well, that one I bought was too big. It was too big, and this was the size. I didn't measure it, so I'm sending it back, and so the next time I go to town with a UPS store, I will send it back, and then that's what's going to happen there. Good, the paint is dry, so it's not turning green. It's a little bit greenish over here. Kind of liking the energy here. Yeah. So I have a limited amount of area here that I'm working off of, Ange, and so that palette didn't fit with it. Now, granted, I do have the other one, which I have all my I have this one which has all my student grade paints in it. And I'm not using the student grade paints tonight. I'm using the professional grade paints. And so I don't have one for the professional grade paints. And this is technically is a watercolor tray. But it kind of bothers me that it broke. But, things break. Okay, now I need to figure out how to... So we'll just go to the other brush. Let's see. Well, we'll make another toned down, really a toned down yellow with this white here. It does feel like I don't know what I'm doing. So it should get a... But I kind of feel like that is what, lots of people who are in business don't have the faintest clue what they're doing. So maybe we would put this in here, and this will be like the bottom edge of the clouds, though there isn't really any cloud. There is clouds in the sky. There is clouds. Yeah. I was like looking at the one of the local monasteries and thinking I should go to Mass, but I haven't been to Mass since 2019. I kind of miss it, but I don't really. I mean, if that makes any sense, All right, so let's just put some of this up here. Different coloration. Like we have some clouds. Blended in together there. It's actually not bad. I'm going to feather it out, get it in here. Trying to get a blending here. I hope I don't have black on that. I don't want to get it on this sweater, which belonged to my dad. I don't like that. I don't want that on there. I know that some people would think that I would be kind of nuts because I own hair nets for when I'm cooking. Especially if I cook for other people, I always wear a hairnet. Does that seem kind of nuts in your own home to wear hair nets because you don't want hair to fall into people's foods? And I go over to my my brother-in-law, and he's not very good at washing his hands, but he's a great cook. And I'm always paranoid about getting sick when I go over there. Sometimes I play it up, and so like when it was one of my niece's weddings, and I was acting really super paranoid about hand washing and stuff like that, and one one of the bridesmaids or whatever they were, they said, "Oh, I've heard about you. You're the germaphobe." Like I was like kind of a real Niles. Oh, actually, I'm really liking this. A Niles Crane kind of a guy. I think we're gonna put this in here, pull it all the way down to color all the way down to the horizon line, and even when I worked in a restaurant, that was also kind of funny. That's the Yeah, especially it is, and so I worked in a restaurant outside of the casino. I only worked at one restaurant in my life, and it's kind of shocking how little wait staff peoples wash their hands. And you might be, and so they're garnishing out your food. They're not washing their hands before they bust your table, and they go back to it, and they're not really washing their hands in between bussing and then grabbing your food and adding garnish and shit on it. And so I was always slower as a waitstaff person because I actually did wash my hands before I handled your food. So I'm going to leave that. Hopefully this will be really nice and transparent, so it'll dry up to where we have, so that light shows through and it dulls down everything. And I'm going to bring this all the way up. So this is what I added onto here, was some glazing fluid. But at the casino, you had cameras on you all the time, and you would never know if surveillance was going to call at any time and to tell you that you failed to wash your hands. And so it had happened to me once before. I had started, I guess I put dirty dishes away. Yeah. And so at the casino, I mean, I was always paranoid, and I got busted multiple times for doing, having people. Like one time, I wasn't as a floor wait staff service. I wasn't supposed to make change out of my tip cup. Well, this one time, I made change out of my tip cup. So if you would look at my cash drawer was on one side of the casino, and I was clear on the other side of the casino. This is like 4 o'clock in the morning, and somebody wanted change. Well, everybody made change. What I was supposed to do was go back into a beverage station where there was no camera and make the change. But I just did it right out in the open, and I made change. And then, like an hour later, the bosses came up to me and says, "Hey, Bill, did you do this?" And I says, "Yeah." "Well, I'm sorry, but we're gonna have to write you up, because that's a major policy violation that you did there." And I was saying, and so what you should have done was, the guy didn't have change, and he wanted to leave me to tip So I guess what I was supposed to, because you know what the rule is, you're supposed to go back to your cache drawer. Well, my cache drawer was 100 yards away, and and I just, God, there was nobody there. But that was the casino, and those are the types of things that happened all the time. And so, what do you think? As far as it has got a greenish tone to it. It's not exact. There is some light here. I'm gonna start going in, making. I think I'm gonna leave it like that. Maybe we'll tone it out and put a little bit of some clouds in here. I might just do just a tad bit of this magnesium hue, so it's kind of grays it out. And we're gonna put that in here, like we got some clouds. It's got some clouds in here, some dark color, so it'll kind of blend in together. Yeah. You're right, people are pigs. But after seeing those experiences, I just kind of am reluctant to go to restaurants. And these days I really just don't. I just actually just pack a damn lunch. It's more often than not, that's what I do is I pack a lunch, and that's good enough. I'm liking the light in here. There's all these different thin layers here. Got some different levels of light here. And I want to do some thin, just a little bit. No, I don't think so. I think we're just going to move on. I'm going to leave it like this. I think it'll be fine. Now, I'm going to put in just, I guess it's going to cover up most of that. If I do some ground in here, we'll probably make that a darker color. We'll go back in over here. I think we'll use this color here because I really like how well this color turns into other colors. Make it kind of a rusty color. I'm going to tone that down with, got this, and I'm going to add just a little bit of this bone black in here. And so we're going to kind of put this over here. I'm not going to build it up too much. Yeah, that looks pretty cool, actually. It has that kind of these sparklers. There's some light on here, so we'll kind of bring this down like that. Needs to thicken this out a bit. And I allowed my hair to get too long. I probably should have just gone to a barber, but I didn't. I cut my own hair. Let's go and add a little of this Zilron Crimson to it, just to give it a nicer, kind of a nicer change, a tone. do need the hair dryer because this color is kind of wet in here. And we have a line in here, so this is like your water line. Maybe here, I'll get the water line. There. Okay. It's kind of working on those perspectives. It's wet. I'm gonna go get my hair dryer, and it's just right behind me, but the cord is elsewhere. Okay, there's that. So in this next year, I think I've mentioned that I'm slow getting around to it. I'm going to be working on. Why can't I get it in there? There we go. I'm going to work on getting better skill drinking coffee. Huh. All right, so I'm going to mute the camera here. Oh, crap. Everything got caught in here. Something fell down with the wind blew it out. Okay, all right. There we go. So we'll be working on let me put this in here. These different colors layered in here. You know, silhouetted out there. You can't really see it very well anyway. Kind of covering up the underpainting. So what do you think about painting over an underpainting? How do you have any thoughts on how that looks? I mean, as compared to painting over just a straight white background. And it's not wanting to stay, so I'll move it out. Well, those limbs I have over there, I will I picked them at the first of spring, and so and they still have some of the blossoms. They're all dried out from like both apple trees and what other tree was that? Pear trees, yeah. Pear and And I'm going to go after the glazing fluid. And this is it does slow dry. I probably should use gel medium, but instead, which I think I will go to a gel medium instead. You can just use water, but sometimes when I'm working with these professional paints, I kind of like to use these other more professional fluids in order to thin my paints down. And so well, sometimes you can drink coffee all day. I'm just going to put that in there. We're going to add a tad bit of this bone black into it and change the shade a bit. So what we're doing is, if you're just joining in, we're adding thin layers of paint onto, and to try to building colors through that, adding complexity, adding depth. Now, granted, in the reference photo, you really can't see too much over here, so I'm going to make it seem like it's just muddy in the background. And you got these distant hills over there. And I actually almost don't really want to change this out of here, and just leave it like this, so that there is all this light that's coming up from there. And okay, so then I'm going to come back in, and I think we'll use that brush. Yeah. Maybe I'll change out to one of these watercolor brushes. And so I'm going to see where the water line is. It's probably comes out here like this. And so this is sort of a grayish color. And I'm going to go first and lay it down with this gray. And so maybe I'll just take this color that I had already started building here, and we're going to add some blue to it. So since it's got that on crimson in here, it's got the black in there. Adding this in here will make it more purpley. I guess I didn't need that fluorescent red. But maybe we'll just add some of it to it. It's dried out already. Damn. It's unfortunate. Maybe we'll add some to it. Add some of that to it, so we get kind of a lavender color, and maybe we'll just mix that all in. We'll just kind of add the different layers there into it. So we'll just kind of block it in. This may be like the shoreline here. There, okay. All right. Add some water to it just to thin it out a little bit more. We'll just start with this initial layer of this thin color, and then we'll start working from there as far as what the other colors are in it. I guess you don't have to be all that careful. We'll just kind of put this in here really quick and dirty. Got a whole bunch of different colors in it. Maybe that's where the sun's at over there. And we're gonna bring it in at an angle like over there. Okay. But we're gonna make the water first. So you finished your cup of coffee about 15 minutes ago, early, Tom, and now you got yourself some water. Yeah, maybe I'll have some water too. Welcome, Tom. Actually, it was kind of strange being at Tarot Ask Backwards reading and Cosmic wasn't there, because he seems like he's always at Jeff's readings. Make this color here some kind of a light, very toned down blue. Add some black to it. Sort of a kind of a gray. You just caught the last few minutes. I left early so I could go get dinner ready. Pee Wee always tells me when it's dinner time. I'm gonna miss that dog. I hope that she stays around till she's 20. If she's 14, when I kind of think about that, it really makes me sad because I really love that dog. Okay, that's actually a nice color there. Kind of complements things. It has some tones up there in the sky tones and yeah. Sorry, I'm not so. I feel kind of quiet. And so, what is this? Is this like pond scum? I think that's what that is. This is pond scum. I know that there's lots of islands out in that water. But let's go in and make another color, and we'll lighten it up. And add some more white to it, and then we'll just work on changing those colors. What if we do some of this Zilverine Crimson and add that to it? But you know, the beauty of what I'm doing here now is I'm doing a lot of experimentation. And I know I'm going to add this layer of color on top, and it will just sort of add to what's already there. I might actually go and take, I think I'm going to hair dry it first. Just dry it up just a tad bit. So plug your ears. All right. I think I firmed that up a little bit. That is one of the issues when you do a lot of thin layers of paint is that the more layers you put down, the slower the paint dries. And so so you have to take some time in between applications or just use the hair dryer. Maybe I'm going to take a zone in here where maybe this is like where the sunlight is kind of coming through like that, and then make some darker areas. That. And then what? Let's come in with some more of this bone black. Well, I did go and clean out one of my old channels and made all the videos except for one private. And I went through all my playlists and made them all private. And then I'm thinking about, I'm kind of thinking, gosh, there's only like 21 subs on there, and you need 50 to live stream. But I'm going to figure out if there's a way I can live stream with not having the requirements. I see that there has been ways to do that in the past. Ways to do that. And I'm trying to figure that out. Some say you use like some streaming software. And I did load up on my phone StreamYard, which is different than Streamlab, which is the free version of. And I think I could be able to do that. I'm going to try. Otherwise, I'll do something else. I know that I can stream with no subs on a desktop, and so maybe I fix things with my laptop, but my laptop is running Linux on it. But like I said last night, it's actually even before Ange brought it up when she asked me if I was ever going to do tarot readings, and I did tell myself that I was going to start doing that this year, but I was going to do it on a different channel while I learned how to do them, because I do lack a lot of confidence when it comes to that. And okay, so what are we doing in here? We're just having these different shades of colors in here. And now I'm going to come in with a different brush. Of course, I will more explain it better tomorrow in the Q&A, but I haven't really been doing tarot for very long. the only person I've really read for is my sister. So this color with just a tad bit of this bright yellow, I'm going to add that in there. Hopefully if we add this in here, there we go. So that's where the sunshine's coming through there. You find it sometimes hard. You find it sometimes hard read on. Okay. Oh yeah, I see. Getting the message out right. Well, it's what goes on, Tom, is like I really want to do. Really, what keeps coming into my mind is wanting to do less serious readings. What goes through my mind all the time is when I'm looking at the cards and I'm thinking, oh, this card here says you're an asshole. But none of the cards actually say that, but I'm gonna put in a little bit of this streaked in here. A little light streaked in here in different places. And over here, we'll kind of cover it up, kind of feather it in places over here. So kind of looks like there's a surface there. I think I'll kind of leave it at that kind of a color. We call this a rough draft. And then I'll do a foreground, and then I'll do this thing, and then I'll call it good. And yeah. Kind of a little white in here. Makes it look like it is water indeed. And we'll just do a little bit over here too. And yeah. Pond scum. I think that looks pretty cool. So I guess my intention has always been to have the camera face down, but God, but maybe if I don't, I have this great temptation to want to use my glam band rocker wig, it's like you got to have an attraction or something like that. Because I have a bit of my personality quirks of having a I'm gonna block in the colors here and make it more like a darker green, I think. The trickster, kind of a trickster type of individual that exists within me. So I think we'll replicate that color over here. I'm going to use a little bit more of this Zilveron Crimson. I'm going to mix in with it some of this fluorescent red. Yeah, so what I have done is I've done 2 shows on Hershey, on Thomas's show, where I used my homemade Oracle decks. And so I really needed to do. Anyways, I don't know what I'm talking about. Those were kind of fun shows, and we're gonna add some more of this and tone that color down. And a lot of it is I just lack a lot of confidence. But then, like I said, I opened up another channel. It's not a new channel, it's an old channel. And because this is my third channel. And so I opened up an old channel, and I changed the name, changed the channel name on it. And I'm just going to put this in here. And we're going to put some grasses in. Use that liner brush. They're kind of dark. Yeah. What I really would like to do is try some private readings on Zoom. I do have a Zoom account. And I don't know. I think the best thing is just to go for it and do it. I can't imagine that, because I can just piddle around, and pretty soon I'll just like waste even more time or whatever, and piddle around the time, and then nothing ever happens. Because that's what the the big danger of is. I think I want to add. Yeah, let's just put this in here. So it makes sort of this lavender gray like color, and we're going to add some of this yellow. But I think I want to put some of this yellow ochre in it as well. And we're going to just do a real light color here. And let's just put this in here. Sort of tone it down, and then tomorrow when this dries and it's all dry, it'll have a lot of this multi-layered color effect. I started with just a lighter tone. I like kind of the fact that the underpainting was a darker color, but yet I'm able to lighten things up. Because of course it is starting from a place of being fully dry, and that makes a huge difference. And so I'm going to hit the drying machine, and so plug your ears. All right. Here we go. And now let's just put some grasses in. So what color should they be? We'll kind of go over to this other section here, and we'll make it all sort of a darker green color. Take this yellow ochre. It kind of bothers me that I put these colors in that I'm not even using. And I'm going to tone it down with the black. And you can trick yourself into thinking that it was green with just a really small amount of this magnesium hue. So you're looking at what does wheat look like at night. Okay, so uh-oh. So did I ever mention what some of these relics are? I think this relic over here, which came from Istanbul, and a friend of mine, it is an old friend of mine. He lives there as an expat with his wife and his child, and he was from Vancouver, BC, and he brought this back for me from Istanbul. One relic. This over here, I found it in the ditch near where my dad died, and this also I found it in that ditch where my dad died. And there's also was a piece of his vehicle. I have a piece of his truck here. That's not readily available, but it is here. So, all right. So we'll start putting in foreground. Maybe we'll just start here. I need to add some. Oh, he died in a car accident. It was like 2012. I'm not asking for condolences, so nobody needs to give me any sorries or anything like that. I'm just saying, so I'm not looking for that. So yeah, he died in a ditch. Not really, not necessarily. He didn't necessarily die in a ditch, but that was kind of his final resting point. So it's like the car, his truck, I think he either had a heart attack or a stroke, or he fell asleep. And so his car's going down the road. Maybe he fell asleep, maybe not. And then he went off into the ditch, went off the road, overcorrected, and the car swung around, and he slammed into the front of a bus. And so he slammed into the front of a bus, and then the car spun around and then landed in a ditch, and that's where he died. And so his head impacted it. It with all the force in that accident, his head hit the dashboard, and then that was how he was eventually he was killed. He was killed pretty instantly, and there were then there was the whole thing that the last person to see my father alive also died in a car accident on actually really close to Baskett Slough, and yeah, it was actually just right within a half a mile of Baskett Slough. He died of a left-hand turn. They think maybe, and how many people in my neighborhood died on those highways, those two highways that are near here, that almost everybody who lives down here in the area that I live in knows somebody or has a relative that died on those highways. And so it seems like it's a really common way for so many people around here to pass away. But yeah. So is there any wonder why I have massive driving anxiety? One of my neighbors, their daughter, actually, they're all the parents are all passed away. They all passed away within the last couple of years to cancer and other things. But one of their daughters, um, near where my father passed away, uh, she went underneath a. She was decapitated, and her car went underneath a tractor trailer, and so it was like that, just in my neighborhood. And this happened. It happened. I wasn't here when that one happened, but it's just in my neighborhood. There was 3 people who died. Actually, 3 people from most of the people in this neighborhood. Um, are all related. So essentially 3 different families, and everyone lost somebody in a car accident. Well, maybe I chose the wrong color for the ground, but oh well. Let's go add some more blue to it and darken it up. Make it a little darker green. Yeah, cheery thoughts. Right after Christmas, you shouldn't be thinking all these cheery thoughts like this right after Christmas. Mm-hmm. One of my friends she lives up in the Seattle area, and she had a sister who got killed in a 7-Eleven, and I think it was in, I'm not going to say the town, but it was in the Seattle area. And an armed robbery. It was there for an armed robbery. And then had somebody else in her family too, like a niece or something that got just flat out murdered. It's like, there's a lot of these. Most people just don't know people who, where that happens, and go through life and different shade of green here. Fill in the blank. Oh, why am I being so morbid here? And that's just real life, right? Huh? Just talking real life. So what do you think so far? And how this looks? I think I'm gonna put in here some darker colors itself, and I'm not gonna fill in too much here. We'll just have it like it's the hint of color there. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I'm going to, let's see, we're going to do this. Use up all this bone black. Kind of an approximation of green here. Mm-hmm. So in January, like I mentioned, I'm going to change the channel name to 999 Show. And so I'm probably going to want to do a lot of live streaming for the first week or two. I'm going to just kind of put this in here to fill it in. But the handle will remain exactly the same. So so you may need to go into your subs to find my channel, and remember it's going to be 999 Show. I'm going to just put this in here to get it just kind of darken up the foreground. The black is sort of, I guess we just make black out of these other colors. Sip water, huh? We got lots of water out here. And yeah, we'll just kind of make the black with some other darker colors here. I can just lay this in here, holding the brush way back to lighten the amount of pressure on it. Okay. Maybe we'll put some of this over here too. You might need a filter to sip from the pond, yeah. Yeah, well, you know, in imagination land, you don't necessarily need to have all that stuff, but kind of darken it up over here. Okay. Let's do this thing. Now, what color is that going to be? think I'll just use some more of that same color here. Yeah, okay, let's use that same color. The black's all dried up, so we'll just use some of these other colors to make it darker, and then come back in and get some more of this stuff. Yellow ochre. And I want to use some more gel medium, which I'm using a Liquitex gel medium. And all the colors I've used today are professional grade with the exception of this one. I do not have any yellow reflex in the golden colors. Okay, so we're just gonna see where's this thing gonna be at. It's gonna be about here. And there is that. And it has some light on the edge, so we're gonna wanna come over that with another color. Actually, I think we'll do that last. And so it has sort of a, I'm going to make the head of the thistle kind of like that. Get taller, I think. He's got another one of these that's coming up over here like this. And got just a little bit of light coming around the edges here. All right. I'll put a little bit more. Just kind of blend that in so it's the light sort of wrapping around it. Make it kind of stand out just a tad bit from the background. I really like the sky. It is still a little bit transparent from the underpainting. You can see the underpainting under it, but I'm hoping that that's not too much of a distraction. Okay, and then I think I'm gonna, the little spiny things on here, I think we'll add some more of the, just some yellow right into it. More, lighten it up a bit. So I'm going to try and keep my Q&A tomorrow under an hour because the dog needs to take I need to take the dog and my mama for a ride, and so the dog's getting really bored and depressed for having been in the house for days on end without getting a ride. What do you think? So we got some of those things. It's starting to, it's not an exact replica, but that's one of the other things I want to work on this next year is doing more reference photos, getting things to look more like the reference photo. And so then maybe I can haul in the spring, or maybe even before spring, I'll haul because I have a Wi-Fi out in my garage, and like that. And I'll just haul my my easel out, and if it's a snow day, then maybe I can, because I have I can do a picture like in my front yard. Of course, I could just do the front yard from those pictures. I can do that too. There we go. I like that. Get these different colors in here. Well, it'll be just, I have done some videos from my garage. And I do have a computer out there, a desktop computer. But it's really cold out there right now. But from the garage, I can go, there are some places we can go. I can go put the easel out, and then you can see some trees and things to look at. I'll make sure I don't get any of the neighbors' houses into the picture at all. And so well, I think this is about done here. What do you think? I think it's as done as I'm going to make it. We've been on it for 100 minutes, approximately 100 minutes. And here we go. I think that I'm still struggle with water, and so we're gonna do a lot of stuff like this and to try it until I can perfect doing water. There's a lot of things a lot of skills I need to work on. So just to try to keep this show fresh, and so it's not to be too repetitive. But we're also going to be doing building a oracle deck. I'm going to build on little cards like this. On these blank cards, I'm going to make some small oracle decks. Probably a crossword one. I'll be hand writing all that stuff, and so that's one of the things we'll work on. And then in April is poetry month, and so then we're going to do a lot of poetry. Of course, the poetry is a channel killer; it always is. But we're gonna maybe I'll focus more on spoken word performing. And stuff like that. And then we'll see from there. And hopefully the world won't end or anything like that. And that's all I got for you. think I got this. We got some, so this was Painting Saturday Nights. Painting Saturday Nights will continue into the new year. Friday, I don't. Anyways, I need to go do some more paper mache, but you know, as with paper mache, you have to put these things someplace. I don't have a lot of space. But anyways, this is all I got for tonight. I'm going to be back on tomorrow afternoon at 2 for a Q&A for about a half hour, 45 minutes. And that's it. Good night, and thank you very much, Ange, for being here. Thank you, Early Ritual. Thank you, Whitecliff. Thank you. Who else was on? Mama Sushi was here for a minute. And thank you, Prairie Winds and Wildflower Spirit Arts. Thank you all for being here, and I will be back tomorrow afternoon too for my first Q&A session, and we'll see you then. Bye-bye.